right, so as the cars have already started their engines, we are ready for the start of the 16th and final PPG run of the year. Here's the grid. So here's the way they qualified with Alex Zanardi, the 6th pole of the year for the 96th Rookie of the Year. Alongside it's Bryan Herta. He's finished in the top 6 in the last 6 races. Pappas parks his Toyota-powered machine by the edge of the race course and climbs out. Another one.
Oh, look at that. Look at the fight
for the lead, though, as Bryan Herta has just grabbed the lead. Bryan Herta grabbed the lead coming down into turn 2.
This is on the front straightaway. This is one of the primary spots. Look, he just goes down up on the inside. Clean pass.
Alex Zanardi, they just reported off and on the circuit. The course marshals here, you couldn't run this race without him. Let's take a look at this. Zanardi coming down under the bridge. Oh, that's a big mistake.
He is lucky that he didn't lose that completely there and hook it and spin it. Boy, I tell you, Bryan Herta's heart is pumping right now like you wouldn't believe.
Well, the pressure is on. Coming to the conclusion of the 82nd lap. They climb the hill. The white flag flies. There is one more lap to go in the IndyCar season. Can Bryan Herta hang on for that lap? Bryan Herta, United States. Jimmy Vasser, United States. 2 new names, both from the U.S. in this series that has become so international. So the battle for the PPG Cup. Look,
look at that.
Here he comes, and he gets him. Can he get him back? Can he hang on?
Oh, look at this.
Down through the boards on the final lap. Alex Zanardi, remember, twice we've had the change on the final lap of the race this year. Alex Zanardi at the top of the hill, an area you would not normally try and pass. Ducks the inside of Bryan Herta, goes all the way off the course on the right-hand side, and Alex Zanardi, with a brilliant move, takes the checkered flag from the pole and the win here at Laguna Seca. Unbelievable. And the championship will go to Jimmy Vasser. Bryan Herta finishes in 2nd place. Well, congratulations to the Team Ganassi, and Bryan Herta climbs out. It was his with just 3 corners to go, and then it was snatched away on the very last lap by Alex Zanardi.
Some extra horsepower, and he's going to need it to hold off Alex Zanardi.
And I'll tell you, from the Zanardi camp, they're cheering him on, and they say it's just pure speed on the racetrack. This guy has come back with a marvelous job. He may be using a lot of fuel. We ask if there was a concern. They say, no, we think we're good to go the distance, and he's putting big-time pressure on in the chase for 2nd.
12 laps to go next time by. Another dramatic finish on the horizon as the battle for position continues. Alex Zanardi down the inside of Bryan Herta into 2nd place. This one is long from over for the Italian and his American rival. The pole sitter warms tires and engines in anticipation of the start. Let's check the starting grid for the Miller 200. Herta on the pole 8 times in the last 15 races. This race has been won from the pole. He's alongside Alex Zanardi, the defending champion at Mid-Ohio and the points leader.
Physically very, very tough spot to drive. And when you've got somebody like Alex Zanardi and Greg Moore right behind you, he's going to earn his money today.
Danny, we're getting a quick word from the pits here that tire concern is what is the problem right now for Bryan Herta. He's on that hard Goodyear tire, and you're wondering if that's starting to come into play now.
Look at Bryan. Bryan Herta's tire has shredded. His left rear is completely gone. It's beating the bodywork. See the little wing?
And he could not be farther from the pit entrance.
That is a huge blow.
Now from Alex Zanardi's onboard camera. Straight ahead is Herta.
Oh, and he's look at all the rubber come up on the lens there.
Back up front to Herta. You see that he is being caught slowly but surely by Mauricio Gugelmin. And behind Gugelmin by Vasser and Zanardi. "18 laps remaining in the race. 18 laps to a possible first victory. Oh, and Alex Zanardi is in the runoff again, down in turn 3.
But he's stalled. He's stalled. That's why he cannot go forward there. He has stalled the car. That's why he's signaling everybody. Push me, push me, push me. Please, I've got to get going.
Back in the early 80s. Now Alex Zanardi has the engine running again, but he's going to have to wait.
But there was Big Mo. He's in 2nd spot, but when Bryan Herta pits, he'll probably take the lead there. That means he's a lap behind the leader.
With 17 laps remaining.
Just missed the hairpin and stalled the car. And my question would be, if your car's working that good and you're already up to third and you've got a brake problem, you got to back off a little bit. But we do not know what's going on in that cockpit. Here's a guy very talented, obviously poised to win his first championship. Look right there. He's sneaking down the inside of Bryan. Oh, I think they touched. I think he touched with Bryan Herta.
Oh, from our Honda Helicam, you saw that both cars were balked slightly. Oh, Herta touches him, and the race leader is in the tires.
And I can't believe it. Zanardi wanted that lap back, just dove up the inside, banged Bryan, and pushed him right off into the wall.
I believe Alex Zanardi might be in for some criticism after this race. We have a full course caution. Bryan Herta, who lost his race lead at Mid-Ohio earlier this year when a tire went down. The man who passed him and took the win was Alex Zanardi. They were bottled up behind a slower car in the hairpin. Then they got to this corner. Zanardi forced the issue up the inside, fully alongside Bryan Herta, it must be said, and then they touched wheels.
But Bryan's already turning into the corner right here. Bryan's in there. He's not seen him, bangs him. Zanardi once again escapes, but I've really got to say that's Zanardi's fault there. He was way down on the lead. That was the leader of the race.
Another look from overhead. I can't believe Zanardi's car wasn't damaged in that collision.
Over-aggression.
A year ago, Alex Zanardi's pass on Bryan Herta won the race at Laguna Seca, earning Zanardi praise as aggressive. A week ago in Vancouver, Zanardi's attempt to pass Herta left Herta in the wall, and Zanardi was punished as over-aggressive.
I'm obviously pissed off because I was leading the race. He turfed me out of the lead, and we weren't even racing. I wasn't racing him.
I think as long as you know what you're doing, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you pay to do.
Let's get started now, beginning with Alex Zanardi and team reaction to the penalties. Here's Gary Gerald.
Bob, it was an interesting scenario last week. The tremendous comeback drive by Zanardi, not once but twice, coming back up through the field, kind of bullying his way, and in the eyes of many, bulldozing his way. Consequently, after the race, kart officials came down hard. A $25,000 fine. Now, that's one of the largest we can ever remember in kart history, and a 2-race probation, meaning today and 3 weeks from today in Fontana.
At the beginning of this race, all eyes are going to be on Alex Zanardi and his front row teammate, the pole sitter Bryan Herta. This week, Alex Zanardi had something interesting to say about the pass last year when he went around Bryan Herta. Said, Alex, I thought what I did was something that had to be tried, not because it was dangerous or a thrill, but the risk in such a maneuver is if you fail, all the blame is on you. I considered that and was prepared to take that if my race had ended against the wall. Well, as you see, the cars are now on the track, warming tires and engines, and here's the way they'll start. Bryan Herta looking to avenge last year's loss from his 3rd career pole, and Alex Zanardi, last year's race winner, who can clinch the title today.
Going to try to put some pressure on him and hope that Bryan will make a mistake, and he can take advantage of it.
So approaching the corkscrew, memories of last year flood the mind.
Now look at Bryan's line though, right down the inside. Doesn't hurt him through the corkscrew, but he is not going to leave that door open for Zanardi.
Zanardi continues to stalk the race leader. They're keeping him right on target with fuel, and they're getting good efficiency, they say. If they're getting this good efficiency and he can run this tough, it looks to me like he may have the more dominant car at this point.
Gary, I think you're absolutely right, but they want him to make sure if he makes a pass that it's very clean. Look, Bryan's already protecting his line. Zanardi taking a very wide line there, saying, hey,
and up the inside he goes.
Is he going to make it? But he's on the outside for this corner. Locks up his right front. Bryan came back. This is a great battle. Zanardi is all over him.
All 3 drivers in Reynard chassis, the Constructors champions for 1997. But a Honda engine in Zanardi's car, Ford's for Scott Pruitt right there, winner on the streets of Surfers Paradise, Australia earlier this year. And Bryan Herta. And now Zanardi again looks up the inside.
But he's got to protect his backside as well, because Scott Pruitt's trying to take advantage of it. Remember one thing, there's a Goodyear at the front and Firestone's all over Bryan Herta.
And Zanardi goes up the inside. Can Herta respond in turn 5? Yes, he does. Herta back into the lead, and they've got to move because here comes Scott Pruitt. And behind him is Jimmy Vasser, and behind him is Mark Blundell. So while the leaders have been dicing, the 3 cars behind them have
you could throw a blanket over that group, and one mistake, and you could lose 3-4 spots.
Through the infield, here comes Zanardi again. Nope, not that time. Welcome back to Laguna Seca. Moments ago, beginning the 22nd lap of this race. This was the scene down on the infield section, out of turn 2. Alex Zanardi touched wheels with Bryan Herta, who lost the race lead to Scott Pruitt. Zanardi rejoined behind his teammate Jimmy Vasser in 4th place. Picking up later that lap, climbing the hill through turn 6. Vasser passed Herta for 2nd. Herta goes off the track, is passed by the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th place cars as Gilles de Ferran also went by.
Bryan Herta leads this race. Dario Franchitti is in a strong 2nd place. Is he going to take any gambles here and try and take the lead in the remaining 5.5 laps? But don't forget that Alex Zanardi was 1.5 seconds faster than these two on the last lap, and there is Zanardi in the background. He is flying.
Sure, but Alex Zanardi, he's his own man. He'll probably pretty much turn the radio off as much as he can, trying to shoot out Chip Ganassi. He knows what he has to do. He's coming out of turn 4 there onto the back straightaway, trying to get a draft on Dario Franchitti.
And it looks as though he's got a chance. He's down the inside. Dario trying to defend it, but I don't think he's going to be able to do much. Zanardi's the king of the late breakers, and he goes through in a 2nd place. Oh, what a brilliant opportunity this is. The needle match. Herta versus Zanardi. Remember Laguna Seca from 2 years ago. Remember Vancouver from last year. This is the big psychological needle match between Bryan Herta, who looks for his first race win here in California, where he grew up in motor racing, versus Alex Zanardi. Fantastic. And whether these two survive, Franchitti could still win this one, you know, because these two could easily take each other off.
Going to the corkscrew turn, he left, he was either crash or win. That was a tactic, and that's what he employed, and that's what worked for Alex Zanardi. Heartbreak for Bryan Herta on that occasion. Herta trying to keep the door closed. Zanardi pulls over on the outside. Oh boy, what a race this is.
Fantastic stuff. They still will have 3 laps to go as they cross the line.
I can't see Dario pulling off anything, any spectacular moves here. I think he knows full well what these two drivers in front of him think of one another. He's pretty sure he's got a race win on his hands here, but we'll see. You know, these cars have an overtaking button. They have a button on the steering wheel which puts the mixture on full rich just for a burst of extra power. They call it the overtaking button, and it's a question of when you use that overtaking button. And Herta there, a great exit off the hairpin onto Shoreline Drive. 103 laps in the books, just 2 to go.
Wow, this is great stuff, isn't it? What a climax this race has built up into. We had some dramas in the early part. Zanardi is biding his time. Now where is he going to go for it? He's going to go for it here. What a place to go for it. Wow, he's got past.
And Franchitti got a run on the exit. A huge jet. There is Franchitti making the move also on Bryan Herta.
Well, he lost the momentum, but Zanardi did it. He just caught Bryan Herta by surprise. He went for it when no one else has been overtaking this afternoon. And Zanardi's done it again. He's gone from the back to the front. An unbelievable drive from the reigning champion.
What a brilliant effort by Zanardi. That was a clean pass. That was a clean dive to the inside. Herta, he knew that, he should have been aware that Zanardi was going to try something like that. It was a clean pass, absolutely clean. Great move by Alex Zanardi.
Into the chicane, and this will be a key corner in the race, but they've just got to get through here safely side by side, and then it'll be the blast down towards turn number 1. The start-finish line is very close to that turn number 1, and away they go, and Jimmy Vasser gets on the power and leads them away. Watch out for Zanardi. Zanardi on the inside of Franchitti. Zanardi goes up into second to Herta. Herta tries to go around the outside, and everybody tries to find a piece of space. Herta's on the grass. Zanardi squeezing one, and we've lost somebody there. Tony Kanaan, I think it is, who spun down at that first corner, and it's Vasser who leads. Zanardi in second. Herta got squeezed onto the grass, and he's dropped back a few places now, and Franchitti therefore in third, and Tracy is in fourth. To bring the story up to date, they got together again here on Friday, which led to Zanardi being excluded from first qualifying. Bryan Herta starts on pole position. Alex Zanardi starts 5th. Will that magnetic attraction play its part again here at Laguna Seca? Accelerate hard down the hill. Herta this time not catching Zanardi unawares quite so much, and they're pretty much together. It's only 2 laps to go, remember, as they come across the line this time. Who's going to make it? Who's going to make the mistakes? Who's going to keep it clean? And are we going to see a passing maneuver in the last 2 laps? 5 miles to go, and Zanardi heads down towards turn number 2, trying to find a way to get past Bryan Herta. Tucks in close behind. These two have opened up a little gap over Tony Kanaan,
but Kanaan has a little bit of breathing space over this fourth place car of Dario Franchitti. But this is what the race is all about. It's Bryan Herta against Alex Zanardi.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Here they go up through turn number 5, heading up the hill towards turn number 6, the blind corner. A very difficult corner. The corner that Dario Franchitti went off at during qualifying on Friday, just after he'd set provisional pole. Herta a little wide.
Yeah,
he held it.
Zanardi got a run on him there. Now we'll see Herta here protecting the inside line. Can Zanardi make around the outside? No.
Yes, Herta doing the sensible thing there. He knew he'd made a little error at the corner before, and he wasn't going to allow Zanardi any space, not like in 1996. And this time he keeps that inside line covered. Zanardi's going to have to find somewhere else to overtake, and he's only got just over a lap to do it. Herta looking for his first ever race win. They'll get the white flag this time.
And everybody in the grandstand in front of us is absolutely on their feet, and they're all cheering for their local man. Bryan Herta's got a good lead there. 0.6 of a second as it came across the start-finish line. Just 2 miles to go. Now comes the Corkscrew. 2 years ago, this was Herta's downfall, but no way is Zanardi close enough this time.
No, too far back, but Herta, even so, takes a slightly defensive line just in case, and Zanardi cannot get close enough. There are just 2 corners to go, and Herta's heading for his first race win. The last corner is a possible overtaking place. Is Zanardi going to try it? Herta defends the inside. Zanardi goes wide, looks for the good exit. There's a long run to the flag here. Can he get on the power earlier? It's not enough. Bryan Herta's going to win his first race in the Champ Car Series. He holds off Alex Zanardi, and it's Herta who wins at last. Brilliant story for Bryan Herta. Zanardi did his best, but he just couldn't do it. Kanaan takes his best result in 3rd, and Franchitti finishes in 4th place. And Herta has done it at last.